Welcome to No Strokes. Welcome back, I should say, Joe. We took a week off, took the wife to South Carolina. Can I recap? You've been to South Carolina. You told me, or to Charleston specifically. Can I
Yes,
do a little
sir.
recap on this? Is there room
Would
for?
love would love to hear it. As long
Okay.
as it doesn't involve you guys hanging out with the Southern Charm guys, then I'm all ears.
Yeah, no, none of that. No, none of that. No time for that. Um, I look, I have a very long history with New Orleans. I fucking love New Orleans. That was my place. That was my Vegas for a long time. They
Yeah.
say when you get all grown up, you got to go find like the place that brings you back to that place, but in a more mature, maybe a less degenerate way. And so I had been told many times, Charleston, that is the grown up New Orleans. It is a cleaner, nicer. Okay. And so I am very excited. I have some preconceived notions, some my wife is aware of, some she's not. And I land and I think, what a beautiful place. And I booked the Hotel Bennett. It's got this unbelievable rooftop pool. Sadly becomes the highlight of the trip. Um, look, every place that is shopping centric, it's basically Oak Brook Mall. It's the same fucking stores as I get ads for on Instagram. And I know this is like every major city, but this was particularly upsetting to me because it was like half the trip was like a day of walking on a street where it's just Oak Brook, but 140 fucking degrees.
And
There,
more expensive.
but yeah, it costs basically for us, it costs about $1,200 a day to be there if you cook it all in, maybe a little more than that. And the highlight of this trip, with the exception of the hotel room, the highlight of this trip was the long coffee walks in the morning, Rainbow Row, water, got to go see Yorktown and all that kind of stuff, like just very historic homes, all these beautiful, beautiful homes walking in and out. And our rooftop pool, which could have been in any city in America. I was so disappointed. I'm not
What
gonna
about
lie.
the food? What about the
Yeah,
food though? And like
so
the food
I
is
don't
good there.
yeah, I don't dislike the food, but I just have to say to the travelers out there, like, they only have 4 things, Joe. New Orleans, it's like Creole, French, fried this, cold, oyster bar. Then they got like boils
Correct.
and whatever. Like there's etouffee and there's,
Jambalaya.
galatoises and all this shit, Brennan's, steakhouses. It's every corner is beautiful. Charleston is gorgeous and I wanted to love it. The problem was there's only like 4 restaurants people go to. There's no reservations. The restaurants house like 7 people. You have to
Mm,
walk up, put your name in, wait. They'll be like, oh, you'll have a spot in like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So at one point, we're just like sitting in a fucking lobby somewhere because it's like, what else you want to do? We're in between everything. And there's no like bars, like their rooftop bars look like TGI Friday. There's no fucking like Nashville style walk-in music, having whatever. It's just
interesting.
weird dads, couples that just got married that haven't figured shit out yet. Another thing I learned, you can't drink on the street there. The fuck is that?
Well, then yeah, the comparison in New Orleans was not at all accurate then, because that's the
Somebody gave
big
me bad
thing in New
intel.
Orleans.
Somebody
Very
gave me bad
bad.
intel. So I loved, Jen and I had a wonderful time. We enjoyed the pool. Clay, the pool guy, was fucking great. That was awesome. It was beautiful. The walks were incredible. If you're a person who likes to like map and plan and move around, wasn't it? So yeah,
Yeah.
next time we're going to go straight to Hilton Head Placement Golf is what I would do. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, we only went there. I
Food
know.
was good. Just there's like 4
Yeah,
things.
food's good. We didn't party there. That was like we stopped there before we went to Palmetto Bluff, which is a great spot in South Carolina that's got a Jack Nicklaus course there. But yeah, we just went. I think we went for a night. I had Lydia was like 1.5, 2 at that time. I don't remember much about it. I know that there's lots of bachelorette parties that go there.
Yes, I was
So
so
I just
confused.
figured
Which
there was like a bigger party scene there.
I said to Jen, if you ever want to have a redux on your bachelorette party, this place is totally fine by me. You are welcome to come here. And if you can find trouble, let me know where and I'll come join you. I think I learned one, you hit it on the head. You were there for like a night. I think it's I think we thought it was a couple night city. It's not. It's a 1 night city. And I learned a lot about myself. And Jen so eloquently pointed out to me that I'm a fucking child and that pretty much I still need the same level of like I didn't mature. There's no New Orleans
So
upgrade.
so
It's just
you wearing one of your random basketball jerseys was not well received in
no, she
Charleston?
loved that. She wanted to be give me shit. I did not wear it on the street because it is definitely upclassed. On the pool deck, I did, and she was giving me shit in the elevator until the very first person who came off was like this really nice, well-to-do looking couple, and the guy goes, "Fletch jersey, incredible,"
Oh, you
and
love the
just got in
Fletch
the elevator, and
jersey.
she's
You
like,
love the Fletch jersey.
"Oh, it's my go-to." But anyway, kicking things off, it was beautiful. We had the trip. That was
We
why
missed you, man.
we
We
didn't do the
missed you.
show. Did I miss anything? Was there like a new young stud that came on the scene and
Maybe,
made the
maybe.
news rounds?
Jackson Koivun, man. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He has lived up to the hype. I think that was his third pro start,
Third pro start.
and
Yeah, he's got a
to
missed cut at
win.
15, 10 and a win or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
21.
I think I remember us talking about him going into John Deere because we were both like, kind of like, how is Koivun like 20-1 and Blades Brown is like 90-1? That doesn't make a
Right.
whole lot of sense because Blades
No, it
Brown
does.
is got the experience, but you know
Now
they
it
were
makes a lot more sense.
the bookmakers were right. They were just on the wrong. They were on the wrong tournament, and he went nuclear. Koivun went nuclear on Saturday. That back nine he had on Saturday to create separation was absolutely ridiculous. Like two eagles. I think he shot like a 28 on that back
Yeah.
nine, which was nuts.
62 total, right?
And that was after 62 total, and that was after Scottie, played really well on Saturday, and Koivun needed that cushion going into Sunday, and I thought he um played like a veteran on Sunday, right? Like didn't stress free, like final round. I think he ended up shooting 66 or 67. Like the only hole he
3 under.
struggled on was 18, where he almost whiffed on the tee shot.
Yeah, you
Like
laughed. I
he
mean, yeah. Can we
he
talk
hit
about that a
his
little bit? Like
he hit his
his
drive 200. I think he hit his drive 250 yards on that long par 5 on
I don't
18.
think
It
it was
was
that
like
long.
he was like
I don't
too
think it was
far back to
250.
even like lay up. Like
Yeah.
it was insane. But then what did he do? He went and made a 15-footer for par and won by 3. So that was fun.
I thought that Sunday was, I mean, it was what he did on the day before was very impressive. What he did on Sunday to me was one of the most impressive things I've seen all season, maybe in the last couple seasons. We talked about this with a couple of players. Tell me what's going on when you see Scottie Scheffler coming up, like actually behind you in a winning position. And we've seen guys fold. And these are guys folding when he's like 4, 5, 6 strokes away. This was like, he came out. The only person who's coming for him is Scottie. Yeah, there was other guys, but it was irrelevant. It was Scottie Scheffler and you. And this is the best golfer in the world who's also trying to, like, he's not here to screw around. He's trying to get a win here. He needs another win, ideally. So he cares. You can see Scottie's committed. And this dude just goes out and shoots 33, 3 under, like it ain't shit. And he did everything. He didn't even, there was no room. And I did not feel at any point like he was going to lose that at any point in that round. Not once did I feel like he was not going to win that tournament.
Yeah, which is impressive.
He's
I mean,
21 years old or whatever, 22.
I wish he was in the group with Scottie because that would have been like obviously a different layer of mental warfare that Scottie could have potentially deployed, and who knows at that point. But like, I mean, Koivun even said in the press conferences afterwards, like, the crowd was telling him Scottie's coming, right?
Yeah.
So like he was having to hear that. He was having to you know handle all of the pressure and process all of the emotions that I would assume goes with leading a professional golf tournament at the age of 21. And kudos to him, man. I think it's really exciting that we've got, because it'll be a good transition into the Rocket, right? But you got two guys, two Americans, two young Americans in Koivun and Thor. I think like I am hoping they're going to breathe some life into the U.S. team, because, and I think that we should be treating the President's Cup as a complete fucking like feeder system for the Ryder Cup, and both of those guys should be on the President's Cup. I have seen enough of Patrick Cantlay. I don't think we need to do the JJ Spawn and Ben Griffin experiment again. Like, you now have these two 20, early 20 Americans that have won back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour, that have got like all the talent in the world. Like, I don't even care if they go and, like, you know, fall face first at the President's Cup, because to me, you're going to win the President's Cup, right? You're going to do
Yeah,
that no
hopefully.
matter who those
Eh.
last two guys on the team are going to be.
Do you
Um,
think that this year? I
I
don't want to jump into this with the President's Cup preamble. Hopefully, you're there at the President's Cup on Saturday with me. That'll be nice. But
I'm still
I'm
waiting
not
for
totally
that
sure about
invite from
that.
my host. Oh, I mean, dude, what have you seen from the international team that has you worried?
I don't know. Tons of cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean that Siwoo.
Yeah. I
As
mean,
soon as
Matsuyama's a real player. Minwoo
as soon
Lee
as
has been
Siwoo
really
is
good this year. Does
listen,
Tom
I
Kim
hope it.
count?
Yeah, Tom Kim is on that. Tom
Right. So,
Kim's on the
like, these are
international
guys who are
team.
coming on the up. Who are your Americans, not young guns, who you feel really good about? Scottie Scheffler is your main guy.
So
Cam
you got
Young.
you. I mean, you still got Scotty and Cam, right? Those are going to be the two guys that are carry it. I'm just going off of. I think the international team has won once since the
Yeah. No, I
President's
don't mean
Cup
like historic. I
started.
just mean like I
No,
look at
I like in
this team and I
theory.
think we've got two or
I
three
think
guys who are
we're
proven, and then it's a little bit like I don't know. You could go. You could
all I'm saying
shock
is
me.
I would take more risk with the team composition in the President's Cup than obviously
Yes.
you would ever take in the Ryder Cup, because the
Yes.
Ryder Cup is what everyone cares about. The President's Cup is it's entertaining. It's definitely going to be entertaining for us because it's in our backyard at Medina. Like, I'm personally excited about it, but when you look at like the landscape of golf and like what people care about the Ryder Cup, right? They care about the majors and they care about the Ryder Cup. So if I'm trying to figure out who my best 12 is for the Ryder Cup away next year, I'm using the President's Cup as like that litmus test as far as like, okay, who do we want? Like, we already saw like how kind of that bottom half of the team played at Bethpage, right? Like, let's figure out if we can get some different energy, some new blood in there that will benefit us going into the Ryder Cup versus just running it back with like the same stale 12 guys, right? Like, um, I think there's an opportunity to put both Thor and Koivun there, and that doesn't guarantee their spot at the Ryder Cup. Obviously, there's a lot of golf that needs to happen between now and September of 27.
It's a perfect
But
tryout for the
I'd
pressure, though.
rather see, yeah, it's a perfect tryout, and it's going to be on U.S. soil, right? Like, so they're going to be comfortable, and then you get all those jitters out in team competition at the President's Cup versus bringing rookies that haven't played in either the Ryder or President's Cup next year. So I don't know. Food for thought. I've seen a lot of debate on it. On X, the Everything app. Everything happens on X. So
Now
I'm
payments
interested in it,
too.
right?
I've got
Yeah, now
payments on X
payments
now
too.
too.
So it's good storylines going into that, right? Like, I think having um not having the same winners week in and week out, like we've talked about on this show the last couple of months, I think has really benefited the product. And like, I think going into the playoffs next week, it's like wide open, right? Like, we've cut the fat in the playoffs, right? It's not
Yep, 70.
125 guys now, it's 70 guys. I think we're in for a great 3 weeks. And, I think you don't really have a clue of who's going to win, which is a lot different spot than we've been in the last couple of years. And, I think there could be more surprises in the next couple of weeks.
Tommy Fleetwood. Um,
No, no,
just kidding. I can't fucking wait for the FedEx playoffs, and that's the first time I've said that in the entirety of the FedEx playoffs. So that just goes to tell you like how this season's tournaments have played out, where it feels like every tournament there's like oh shit, I get to meet another guy, get to see another type of person play.
exactly.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to say this, but like Presidents and Ryder Cup, I've always thought, with the exception of your absolute stars, it should be a young man's game, because a lot of these guys, the most recent golf they had prior to playing on tour was actually playing in team sport and playing in match play tournaments and things that, like, frankly, if you take years off from playing in that style, it's really hard to wire a net low score mentality over 4 days to like every day's different. And I actually think it really benefits um, younger guys like Koivun, who just recently, did what he did at Auburn. And I think in general, as a transition here to the Rocket, we have so many young guys. Michael Brennan's another one. Goddard is older now, but a younger one before winning. We've got, the pot
Yep.
guard dude hitting balls fucking 400 yards. We've got Blades Brown almost won on Corn Ferry. That dude is, I can already tell you now, he's Aaron Rise without the gloves. Like, he's a grinder. He will play at every tournament that he has to play to every single week to get
Yeah.
reps and to be
He's
wherever he needs to
electric.
be. I really, really appreciate the way he plays. There are, Thor Bjornsson is an example, but there are so many unreal young talent that when I look at, like, just in the last 3 weeks, like, the level of talent, the attention on these players is bringing eyeballs to the game. One thing I noticed that I had not seen and I do not think that, by the way, I love Jackson Koivun. I think that his swing, time will tell on, there's a lot of Jordan Spiethy things that go on with that kid, and putting is incredible. I've never seen him with a pair of
Well,
nuts like that.
a lot of torque on that swing kind of reminds me of Zalatoris a little
Yeah.
bit. Like,
Yep.
is that hold up
And he
from a
needs it
health
because he's not
standpoint?
a big guy. We talked about this. Like, he's not a
Exactly.
big guy.
Exactly.
But neither is Rory, and Rory's figured out. So I'm not, in general, I'm not super, like, I am very excited about it. I just want to say, I've not seen other people be excited about it, like, since Tiger. I went to National, the card show, and I shit
Yeah.
you not, there were no golf cards as usual. I'm a big golf card person. I have an Anthony Kim 101 sign waiting for him to come back and win a major so I can sell that fucker on eBay for $1 bazillion. Shout out to Anthony Kim, AK-47.
Still want you on the show, Anthony. Come on, man.
Hey, I showed him the card just the other day. He DM'd. He's still active. We love this. I love this story. Regardless, the only 2 cards that were in existence were Tiger Woods cards and Jackson Koivun cards. And I went and looked for comps on eBay. And prior to the win, the comps for sale, $50, $75, $80. One of 10s were around 125. One of ones were like 1,000. His basic, not even one of a hundreds, were selling for $200-$300. His one of 100s were 1,000. His one of 10s were 2,500, and his one of 1 series cards, I shit you not, I saw one for $7,500. This kid won one fucking tournament. It was insane. There were kids walking around asking about where's the
Wow.
golf, like, area. All Jackson Koivun up. Kids. I have not
love
seen
that.
kids. That was like me and you. 97, Tiger Woods comes on the scene, and we're like, dude,
Yeah.
there's a young dude coming out kicking ass. And I would go to the golf show, and I would be like, oh, where's all the Tiger stuff? Like, this is the same thing. He's not Tiger. It's definitely impressive. He's won a lot of awards. They make too much to do about his history. It's not as crazy as you like you to believe it, but he's real. And that dude had chutzpah. He came out there, put them balls on the green, and just fucking took it down. And I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what he does. He was overhyped to the Rocket. We didn't bet on him. At least I did not. I put a little in just on, like, literally on a flyer because, like, why not? Who
yeah.
knows?
No, dude, you can't bet him.
But I didn't bet on
back-to-back.
anything. It was too rich. And then he still ended up playing really well. He had one good round, got him back in it. I don't know, he finished like 34 or whatever it was. I thought in general,
Yeah. Not
good. Pretty good
surprising
round.
that he didn't contend, but yeah, he's got so much talent that, even on a week where he's not clicking on all cylinders, and I'm sure if that was PGA Tour win number like 5, and he was in year 3 or 4, he wouldn't have played the Rocket after winning the 3M. But, like, he's young, he's trying to get reps.
Keep it hot.
Yeah, keep it hot, right? And, like, yeah, he's gonna be
Well, that win
one of
got
the
him
guys
into
that you got to look
he's
for.
currently in the FedEx, right?
I think
He
he's
is
right
now for
there.
sure. He is
He's
now for
right
sure, but I
there.
thought the
mean, I
win
think
got
he
him to
was like
70.
I think he was at 70 after the 3M, which is crazy because he's only played 3 events and one of them was a miscut, right? So he needed that win at 3M, and he's probably gonna have to have a decent showing at Wyndham, but, like, he should be safely in. I don't
He's
track
a top
enough of,
20 in
like,
Wyndham for me.
those points, right? Like, I know that one thing I was reading about the Wyndham, which is nice because of the change with the this is always, I think this has been the last event for years and years, right before the playoffs. Usually you weren't getting the best of fields because everyone that was into the playoffs just skipped going to
Right.
North Carolina and they were preparing for the St. Jude in Memphis. But because it's now 70 guys instead of 125, like the field that we have for Wyndham is pretty loaded, right? I mean, you got Cam Young, who's the defending champ. That was his. It's hard to believe that was his first win last year, right?
Right.
So at this time last year, the guy that we have been kind of hyping up this year on no strokes still had yet to have had a win. So he's the defending champ. He's back. Ben Griffin's there. Aaron Rye's there. Um, Justin Thomas is playing, and then you've got some of the younger dudes that have been playing really well. I did see that Thor
Dior withdrew.
withdrew. I
He
think
won.
Cantlay withdrew. Like fucking Patrick Cantlay. The fact that people are still betting on like Cantlay started off good at the Rocket. And like the fact people continue to jump, the guy is not won in 3.5 years. Like there is something not right with Cantlay, and because we've got some favorable memories of him at the Ryder Cup, that people just seem to ignore the fact that he's not like, you should never be putting your hard-earned dollars on that guy to win a golf tournament. If you want to put him at top 20 or make a cut, sure, great.
Yeah.
Not going to fight
He's
you
a
on that.
good he's a good
But
stays up
yeah,
top. He's a great
but Scott,
pre-weekend bet.
he's still going
He's my
into
Thursday
tournaments
Friday guy.
he's still going into some tournaments that aren't like the signature events at 20-1. And people are betting that. It's insane to me. But anyway,
Wait,
he
you bet the
withdrew.
yes on him? I bet the no. I like that he's high, and I bet the no. It's a 70%
Ugh.
chance he's going to lose.
Yeah, well, with your contracts, yeah, you can short him. But I just stay away from him. But anyway, I mean, it's a good. And then you've got. I know you wanted to talk Hideki, because Hideki is someone that seems to be the most tipped golfer going into Wyndham, playing really well. But it's
That
a
we
really
know what to
it's
do
a really
there.
good field. It's a really good field.
You just said the magic word for our golf manifesto, which we'll write at the end of the season here. You're the most tipped player. Do we put money on him? Yes or no?
No.
No. So
But
he's
let's hope
out.
he's okay. Well, maybe we don't know if he's. I'm just saying. He's trending to that. I've seen Ben Griffin getting a lot of love, who I personally don't like in this tournament. So he might be the most tipped.
Ryan Gerard
I
would be
was
my non-Ben Griffin pick.
as most tipped.
No, just like if I agree with you. For some reason, like Ben Griffin, I'm not. I see a guy who's a little bit confused when he's out there with himself. He looks like he's got so much game going on, and then all of a sudden he doesn't. And like he just has that not quite. Maybe he just needs a win, but like he's just not quite
He's not what he
locked
was
in.
last year. He hasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
he hasn't found it. He hasn't
And
found it
Ryan
yet.
Gerard, on the other hand, looks like he just wakes up, rubs his eyeballs, and he decides like, if I shoot really well today, then I'm in the tournament. If I don't, then I'm gonna go drink some beers or whatever. Like I kind of liked Ryan Gerard in this. I think the pick that I have for locks that I'm looking at, who was also my pick last week, and I'm riding, is Davis Thompson. I love him for a top 20. I got him on a top 20 last week. Another one.
I like that. And like in the research that I was doing for the Wyndham, one of the comp courses on this, which I agreed to, and we can kind of get into the course makeup here in a little bit. But one of the comps is TPC Deer Run, which Davis
Yes.
Thompson ran away with 2 years ago, right? So I like that call a lot. I mean, there's value there. He's 10-1 at top 5, 5-1 top 10, almost 60-1 to win. That's a great call.
Since we're on it, the other Sanjay Im's another one. That like this.
Yeah,
this
he's
has
been
like,
kind of popping. He's been kind of popping up this year.
he's been good, and then not. He's been like, he's playing like you would expect him to play. He's not a star. Like he's a really strong player who's streaky, and I feel like this is a course where it matches all of the things that he does. I think generally quite well. I think you've seen Doug Gim continue to ride around kind of low, and he's like in the mix, not going to in the mix to win it, but he's like in that top tier, make the cut for sure. So like I love a Doug Gim, a Harris English make the cut, Tom Hogue make the cut kind of bet, top fives. Cam Young is just. I want to talk. I guess I want to go backwards for a second. Talk about Cam Young.
Yeah, we can
We
go
didn't
back.
really talk
Yep.
about this
Yeah.
at the Rocket. I was enjoying everything about Michael Thorbjornsen. And you and I have talked about him a bunch. Like we tried to pronounce his name in
I
like the
love
third week
Thor.
of the show. We were trying to
That's
figure
why
out how to
that's
pronounce his
why I
name.
just keep going Thor. You've
Right. So
you've got it down now. You've got it down. I'm just
you
sticking to Thor. I
you
like
told
Thor.
me you were telling you're Thor is your guy, and so I put him down Sunday morning before they teed off. I put him down as my winner pick. It worked out for me. I didn't put a ton
Yeah.
of money down on it, but it was my winner pick. The most money I had on anyone was from pre-tournament was Cam Young to win it all. And I
Yeah.
didn't waver. In fact, I added another $50 Saturday night coming into Sunday with all things being, what they were. And I watched him until he was on the 12th hole and didn't give up hope on that because I was
Yeah.
watching a guy who he wasn't terrible. He just couldn't make a couple. He hits like 17 greens in reg on Sunday. And every one either missed the putt, but we didn't talk.
Putting,
This wasn't
man.
yips and blowing it. This was just not making them.
Yeah.
He had to, like, he never had approaches that, like, everyone else is like 12, 15 feet and he's 22. And it just
Yep.
was all day. And it was like this field until 16 was basically -15, 2 guys, -16, -15, -14, -13, 12 guys. And he was right there. And at any time, I was like, if he just makes a birdie like Davis Riley did, where he kind of came back with birdie. If he does like a 12 hole, 12, 13, 13, 14 birdie, and he's at -14, and those other guys are at 15 with 3 holes left, they look at the scoreboard on 16, and they see Cam Young behind him, I'd still ride Cam Young as my pick. Nothing. I would like to see him playing more like ridiculous hero Mickey Mantle Cam Young in the beginning of the season. But I feel like he has battled through whatever the fuck the yips thing was.
Yeah.
He's now back in it. I think he will be a strong contender for me in the FedEx Cup, no surprise. But like not like that's a risky pick. But he's getting into form, and I see him here as the repeat champ, defending champ, very close to winning. He just needs one win to like be like, all right, I'm back to know how to do this again. And so that was my pick coming into the Rocket was that he was almost there. He wasn't there. Now I look at this tournament, it's like he's a lock top 5 to me. And I probably sprinkle on him
Yeah.
winning.
I mean, there's just not a whole lot of value. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think the Rocket was a very weird tournament for him because he came in as the heavy favorite. I mean, he was kind of stuck in neutral in round 1. I think he finished 1 under, and then he goes
Yep,
nuclear on Friday, and
61.
you're like, okay, there he goes. Like he was tied for first, and you're like, all right, now he's got 36 holes. He's already captured the lead after being behind the 8 ball after the first 18. Like this guy is going to kind of like easily win the Rocket. It's kind of what I thought going into the
Yeah.
weekend. I'm like, all right, he's there. He'll probably win pretty comfortably, and
66,
he
66 and
so
win it.
he had 3 rounds
68.
that were kind of close to even par, right? Like 69
He shot
69,
69,
68.
68, 60.
Yeah.
No, he gave
Well,
up
he
a
shot the
bogey on
61,
18.
right? He shot I think he
61, but
was
he was
even on
69,
Sunday.
61,
Yeah, so he was
68, and then 70.
so he had 3 rounds that were at or just below par, and then 1 round that was great. So it just I don't know. I think I'm with you. I don't whatever issues were there where he was like just kind of not contending for a period of time seems to be over. He very well could repeat here. I'm not going to bet on it. I think him at 8-1 is
Yeah,
ludicrous
it's too high.
with the strength of this field. There's just too many guys, man. I mean, you already named a couple of them, but I mean, you got Hideki, you got Gerard there, you've got Tom Kim, you've got Michael Brennan. A little aside on Michael Brennan. So I was on him at the 3M, right? So 3M, he plays great on Thursday, plays great on Saturday. He's a couple shots back at Koivun going into Sunday, like 3 shots back, right? But he was like, I think he was in solo third. Um, Completely implodes on Sunday at the 3M. So then I'm like, all right, whatever. He was there. Obviously, good things are coming. Bet him. I just go. I'm gonna ride him again. Trying to learn my lessons from earlier this year and not getting off of guys when I like them. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go right back to him at the Rocket. Um, I have a very sizable cash out that I turned down on Sunday because he's leading, or he's one back, but he's one back of Davis Riley, who I want to say was 800 to 1 to win before the tournament started, right? So I'm like, I'm not worried about Davis Riley. Um, what does Brennan do? Davis Riley makes a 50-footer on hole one, Brennan makes a 37-footer, then he birdies three. I'm like, oh, this thing's fucking over, right? I mean, the guy just doubles holes out of fucking nowhere. And like the benefit of like the value of betting Brennan is supposed to be he is a top three driver of the golf ball, and he just couldn't keep the fucking golf ball in the fairway. And that's when he gets in trouble. And like what I will commend Detroit Country Club on, dude, that rough was punitive, right? So if
Yeah, it
you
was
got in
tough.
that rough, it was tough, right? So, he had a couple doubles yesterday, and just like I I'm very close to putting him on my don't bet list. Like I think he's definitely off of the win bet list, and I think he's got to move to like top 10, top 20 status. He has a He's kind of like our boy Ludwig. He just seems to have a problem on Sundays. I don't know what it is, but like this is now 2 Sundays in a row where like he was like squarely in contention, more so this weekend because he was the betting favorite going into Sunday. Um and he finished tied for 15. Like you get an opportunity like that where it's really your golf tournament to win or lose, and you just continue to figure out ways to lose instead of win. It's frustrating. Like I like his game, but he's got some speed in him, right? Where it's just the scorecard. If you look at his scorecard round to
Yeah, it
round,
looks
it's
crazy.
it's it's way too crazy. It's kind of the psycho scorecard, right? Where we'll have a bunch of birdies in a row, and then he'll have a double or two doubles, and it's just like you cannot win golf tournaments doubling holes. It's just you've got to be able to mitigate disasters where like the most that you're giving up on a hole is one shot. And if you're having multiple holes when you're trying to close a golf tournament that you're giving up two shots to the field, you're going to end up losing the lead and finishing more towards the middle of the pack, and that's exactly what happened with Brennan.
I mean, we've said this before, winning on a golf tour is hard. And that's why you look at like a lot of these guys are young guys that are kind of learning their game on tour. They didn't have competition coming from every single angle in the college game. It wasn't nearly as hard. They're the best of the best. They get on Corn Fair, they're the best of the best. They get out here and it's like, dude, any given day, people, it seems like every day we're seeing a 61 come through. That seems to be the last like 4 weeks is every
I
day.
mean, it's been wild. Yeah,
It's,
we kind of glossed over the fact that Michael Kim at 3M
yeah.
shot a fucking 59,
Yeah. And he was in
right?
contention
Like
again at the Rocket for a minute. He didn't,
he,
turn
he's
the corner
another
on it, but
guy. He's another guy I would look at this weekend because he's another guy like Davis Thompson that is won at the John Deere at the TPC Deere Run. So that's another guy that I like coming into this. And I think he's 70 to 1.
yeah, good odds. I mean, these are all guys that I would wrap up in top tens and then pick a couple to win just so you don't
Yeah,
lose if they don't quite win.
yeah, you gotta protect yourself, but you always wanna have like a fun potential Sunday sweat outright ticket.
Yeah. In general, I just like I feel like we've got a lot of young guys that are still learning how to win. They still make some of the dumb young mistakes that guys make. And I think we also forget like the breed of person who can come out and win a bunch of them and like become expected to win is a different breed. That's a wild animal out there. Forever and ever and ever, for the history of modern golf, we've only had like, I don't know, 12 guys who you're like, for their period of time in their career, it's like, yeah, that dude will go out, he's gonna win. Pretty much he's gonna win unless somebody gets lucky. And that's a Nicholas Palmer. You go before that even, and you go into like the Greg Norman sorta until he had his things, and obviously Tiger Woods and Scottie Scheffler this last year. Generally speaking, if you were to just like historically look back, like I don't maybe you can think of one season where I felt like Rory was that, but actually I never really thought of tournaments like when Rory shows up, he's definitely gonna win. Like
Mhm.
it's really fucking hard. Really hard. So like I look at some of these this
1,000%.
year and I feel like we just don't, I almost
Well,
feel like more that we
it's
just the
really
level of talent is very high right now.
I was gonna say, I think that's the biggest thing is that the composition of the fields are really fucking good, right? Like really, really good. Um, where it's hard even for a Scotty or a Cam Young or a Rory to really gain separation week in and week out. You're not seeing it. Like, you're seeing Scotty being able to get up to the top of the leaderboard, but like any given week, there's a guy that's just a little bit seems to get a little bit hotter, right? A little bit hotter with the flat stick, or his approach shot. He's gaining shots on approach, and his proximities inside Scotty's. It's just been really fun to watch.
I'm never going to talk against the legend of Tiger Woods, but other than 2 times with Jim Furyk, I don't remember him ever playing in tournaments where he's up like 6 or 7 or 2 and somebody fires a 59, 60, 61,
No, didn't
62.
happen.
That shit didn't happen. You'd say, oh, it was Tiger effect. It wasn't. He's just like, there just wasn't 150 guys who played professional golf who could shoot in the 50s. And now we have, apparently, I mean, Michael Kim is a good golfer, don't get me wrong, but like, you're not thinking of him in legendary status. That's a guy who can go out and shoot 50. We have so many birdie machines out there that it's just, I
Yeah,
think the margin for error now is much thinner. So whether you're the very best in Scottie Scheffler or a Cam or a Rory, or you're a young gun who just makes little mistakes, like the air margin's zero. And that's why you see guys like Aaron Rise win major titles. It's crazy.
no,
Speaking
thousand
with this, I
percent.
want to hand it back to you here. Let's recap our course coming up here, what to expect, what you like, and what you're looking for, and we'll roll our way out.
Yeah, so Sedgefield, little bit of a shorter course, right? Just under 7,200 yards, par 70, which we've seen at the last couple of tournaments. So it's only 2 par 5s, but they're both gettable. Some short par 3s and some shorter par 4s, right? So, um, the things that you're going to be looking at, like key stats to consider, um, fairways gain, proximity in that 100 to 175-yard range because they are shorter par 4s. You've got more approach shots happening in that range versus like the 175 to 200 yards. So look at guys that get dialed in there. And then it's always going to be putting, right? So they're going back to Bermuda, so it's going to be fast greens, narrow fairways, but because it's not as long, I think you can, like I was reading with Cam Young last year, like he didn't even have driver on a lot of the holes, right? Like he was taking fairway wood or irons, right? So I think you can be a little bit less aggressive off the tees. Um, and it's really a course where if people have had success, it's gonna be it's gonna be repetitive. Like this is definitely like you're a course horse here. So you've got some guys that we've already mentioned that have had multiple top 15 finishes over the last 15 years. Sanjay, who you mentioned in there, Ben Griffin. The guy that I really like this week is Mac Mesner. He's a guy that I've been on a couple of different times this year. Played unbelievable at TPC John Deere earlier this year. Played really well at Colonial. Both of those are comp courses to Sedgefield. So he's going to be in my card. Davis Thompson, who you mentioned, has also had multiple top 15 finishes here. So I would look for him. Denny McCarthy's there as well, but Denny McCarthy is yet to win a PGA Tour event. And every time I seem to give him out on this podcast, he sucks. So be weary about Denny McCarthy, but he is coming off of a missed cut at Detroit, but at the 3M, he was, I want to say tied for third or tied for fourth. So the good golf is in there. I'd be worried about the win there. But those are a couple of guys that I really like. And like I said, fairways gained is a stat you're going to want to look at. The proximity, um, shots gained putting, specifically on Bermuda, looking at 3-putt avoidance because the greens are bigger here. They're above average from a PGA Tour standpoint, and you're going to need birdies here, right? So look at birdies are better gained. Winning score is probably going to be kind of like what we saw in Detroit last week. So we're in that like minus 17 to minus 20 range. So you're going to need a guy that can fill it up from both an approach and actually put the ball in the hole standpoint.
I love the Mac pick. Ryu is another one that stands out as a potential name here. I think that is
For sure.
not being given enough credit. And everyone else you kind of talked about. I'm just curious, since we started
He's
with him, I'll
Aaron
end with it.
Rye. It's like he's also had multiple top 15 finishes over the last 5 years. So he fits the bill.
These are the guys that like won, Rye in particular early on won, and now it's like, can he come back and win a second one? And all of a sudden, is he your PGA Tour Player of the Year? someone you would absolutely not have expected, but you cannot deny if you win 2 times and one's a major, it's in the realm.
I think he would have to. I think he'd have to win. I don't think Wyndham would do. I think he would have to win in the playoffs and win the Tour Championship to be in consideration of that. Just
I don't
with,
think he has to do that much.
I do. I do.
Oh man, I think he has
I
to
do.
perform well in the playoffs and be in the final, but I don't know that he has to win. For I
He
don't
just.
know. Whatever.
I
There's
mean,
so many like multi-win
he just
players, but
hasn't.
there's
He
only
just
so many
hasn't
majors.
been. I mean, he hasn't been good since Aronimec. Like he's
Doesn't
not been
need to be.
relevant. I
So
mean,
is Rory.
to win,
He doesn't even fucking play in the
to win
tournament.
well, Rory's not going to be player of the year. To me, player of the year is between Scottie, even though he's only got the one win. His body of work is absolutely insane.
It's incredible.
Cam
Second
Young,
places.
Matty Fitz, and Goddard. That's it, right?
I think you might have a bias against guys who wear gloves. It's just.
Well, I also, I am unfair to him because I still remember my Ludwig ticket, but I have to remind myself that was Ludwig that lost at Aronimec and had nothing to do with Aaron Rai. It had everything to do with Ludwig just sucking. But yeah, it's pretty wide open. Go ahead.
Jackson Koivun, this tournament, what do you think? I don't know. There's obviously gonna be a bunch of money on him.
Listen, dude, I love
what
Koivun.
is the narrative though?
It's just
the narrative. Forget about the gambling. The narrative.
It's just.
Does it matter?
I mean, I think the narrative is. I mean, dude, he's the second betting favorite at his 5th PGA Tour start. That's the narrative right there. Like there is the hype that you were talking about that you saw at the card show. Like I think it's real. You're seeing it. On the gambling markets, you're seeing it on the gambling books. Like it is.
That's making me
it's
worried,
real,
Joe.
right? Like
that's the part that like the card thing I get, and I watched him play, and I was like, holy shit, this dude's nuts.
Yeah, but what's making you worried? He's already like won with the pressure. Like I kind of bucketize Koivun with Young in this tournament, where it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I just you're getting Koivun at 20-1 when this is his 5th PGA Tour start, and I can have all these guys that you and I just listed that have had multiple years of success, top 15 finishes here at 20, 30, 40 below what his number is. Like there's so much value on this board. The value isn't with Koivun right now. It's just not, right? He could win 20-1. Great. Take your money. I don't think that the number reflects the actual probability here. I think the number reflects.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah,
like
the
I'm looking at this guy.
The number reflects the popularity that he's got and the fact that he's, everyone's talking about him. Like
I enjoyed the hell out of the win, Joe, but I just like to be sure before I anoint people that they are real.
Here I do. Well, this is one thing that I saw that like I'm not comparing the two. It's funny how fast things change because Koivun wins the 3M, right? Young guy, 3rd start. Matthew Wolff did the same thing in 2019.
That's kind of where
same age, obviously Koivun does not have the funky swing that Wolff had, but like kind of same thing. Like everyone thought that Matthew Wolff was the next big thing. I don't think he won another event after that. So like, again, not saying that Koivun is that. It's just it's more of an illustration of you need a bigger sample size. That's it.
I fucking love.
You need a much bigger sample size. 1000%.
I love what I saw out of him, but I just want to be really clear. Scottie was there. Wasn't the thickest field. He's had a nice little soft spot at the end of the season.
When people are resting.
Holy shit. Yeah, we're not talking about holy shit, contended at a major, won a major, something crazy.
Correct.
Spins it out. I love his story. It's being a little spoon-fed, a little bit, just a little bit with the fishing thing, just a little bit. Fucking
God.
a little bit of a narrative.
Yeah,
I smell a little Jim Nance cooking. I just want to make sure because I look at these bets and I'm thinking it's priced out, but it's like if he's the guy, it's cool. This is a tournament where if he does another top 40, it's like, okay, that's fine. But like, let's not go nuts. I need to
I'm
see.
more
Like, I'm
I'm
being
more
honest. If you're going to have this
interested
kind of hype, I need you to top 15 this week. I don't need you to win it, but I need a top
I
15.
agree. I'm more
Show me you're a real guy.
I'm more interested in his performance in the playoffs than Wyndham, to be
1,000%.
honest,
But
right?
this is the
Like,
warm up. This is the
for
only
sure.
time he's
For
really
sure.
been on the field competing. This is his 6th tournament.
Agreed. Agreed. Definitely be watching him and watching all of our guys. I think we're going to cash a winner this week, my friend.
Let's
Mac
do it, buddy.
Mesner. Let's roll.
Mac Mesner. I'm riding you on that one. I love it. Mac Mesner.
Second
See you
last
later.
year. Second last year. Solo second. There we go. Let's go.
Solo first this year.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, buddy.
See you,
We'll
buddy.
see you. Thanks.
Bye.